Okay, so for this next set of examples, there's really not going to be anything new in the sense that if we just are applying what we know about transformations of functions. We did this in chapter 2, and the only difference is we're going to be doing these transformations to the graph of y equals e to the x. Now let me just remind you, that's what this function looks like. So just have to recognize like what transformation is being done. And these don't have to be works of art, but you should be able to at least find out what if there is a horizontal asymptote, you should be able to find what that is, and also to find the y-intercept, if not the x-intercept. So in this first one, we're just taking e to the x and we're adding 1 to it. Well, that's a vertical shift. So that means, notice that e to the x is always positive. This is going to be a positive number plus 1, so it's going to be greater than 1. So in this case, we're shifting the horizontal asymptote as well as the function. And so the graph will look like this. And you can see that when x equals 0, you get e to the 0 plus 1. That's 1 plus 1, that's 2. So that's what the graph will look like in this case. In the next example, negative e to the x, we're putting a minus in front of the whole thing. So that's a reflection through the x-axis, as we're changing the sign of the y-coordinate. And so this piece now is down here. Okay. And we can see that the x-intercept, if you plug in x equals 0, you get negative 1. Here, what we've done is we've replaced x with minus x. That's the reflection through the y-axis, because we're changing the sign of the x-coordinate. So we're reflecting this, so now the graph will go like here. Okay, and the y-intercept is still a 1, and I shouldn't touch the x-axis, but it's like I drew it a little close for that, too close for that. E to the x plus 2, we've replaced x with x plus 2. If you remember, what does that do? That shifts the graph to the left 2 units. Okay, so we take this, we shift just to the left. And you'll see it will almost look like the same, except now we have the x-intercept, or the y-intercept is now going to be at e squared. Okay, if you plug in x equals 2, we get e squared. Similarly, if we replace x with x minus 3, that's a shift to the right 3 units. And in this case, it'll look like that. And the y-intercept will be at e to the minus 3. Incidentally, you could use a calculator to find out what these numbers are. But you'll see that e squared is going to be much bigger than 1, and e to the minus 3 is much less than 1. Okay, for the others, I'm just going to let you pause the video, and you can work on these for a moment.